Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at him. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Welcome back. Week 2 of Season 6 Throttle Freaks GT3 action. This week we head to the now defunct ORAN Park, track that served for, it was about 48 years on the Australian countryside. It's been demolished about 2010, and now it houses about 7,000 residents living on former heartbreak dreams. Gasoline, oil spilt all over that place, and I don't know if you want to go outside and drink from the hose in this neighborhood, but we're going to do a little bit of racing here this week. Welcome in. This is Racers Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell. In the booth with me, as usual, is Mr. Richard Swindells. Rich, welcome to the Land Down Under again. I believe we were in Australia last night for another broadcast, different side of the continent, but we're back again for back-to-back Aussie action in GT3 racing.
Yeah, we're just trying to avoid extra jet lag, Rob. We just decided to stay overnight as opposed to coming all the way back here to North America. But man, oh man, ORAN Park, we don't see this on the calendar very often. A very short track, and going to be interesting. It looks like we got 38 drivers here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be real tight confines. A number of new drivers joining this session, or joining the series after the Porsche Cup series did not get quite enough entries to run on Wednesday night, so those drivers have hopped ship over here into the GT3 side of things. So they're going to get a little more downforce than what they would have had in the Porsche Cup. But let's take a look at our track information here for this evening. As we mentioned, we're at ORAN Park Raceway in Narellan, Australia. It's now, I believe, I think I was reading the other day, this track is now a subdivision of ORAN Park Town Homes, is what they call it now, and they actually have some street names named after some racers. McDowan Way, I believe, was one of them, and I'm trying to, there's a couple other good ones too as well. Peter Brock and Alan Moffat. So kind of paying that homage to what was there before. But as you mentioned, Rich, short track, 1.62 miles, only 12 turns, 379 feet above sea level. They get 73 degree Fahrenheit track temps out there, 68 degree Fahrenheit air temp. Partly cloudy, but no rain in the forecast. Should be a pleasant evening for racing. Let's take a look at our calendar. This is week 2 of 10. We're at ORAN Park. Next week, we're going to head to Spa. I think we're going to be doing Spa a number of times next week across the channel on various leagues. Bathurst after that, so we'll be coming back to Australia. Man, we're spending a lot of time in Australia this season here, Rich. With round 4, round 5, we head to VIR. Round 6, back to Australia again for the Streets of Adelaide.
Frequent flyer buyers there, Rob.
I get to buy a second home in Australia this season. Round 7 in Hockenheim. Round 8, we're going to head to France to Lemans Indy Road for round 9. Then we're going to wrap things up again on the streets of St. Petersburg, and Florida. So a lot of street circuits coming our way, but they're in the middle of qualifying right now. As you can see, they had 120 minutes of practice, 15 minutes of qualifying. We've got our usual 45-minute race set up after that. Unlimited sets of tires, and no quick repairs, no spare cars. 20 incident points going to net you a drive-through. 4 incident points after that is going to net you another drive-through. So you got to be cautious. That 20 limit is it's high enough, but once you hit that, you're in danger of getting multiple drive-throughs very quickly. Fixed setup, 50% fuel load, so they will need to make a pit stop at some point in time, usually about halfway through the race here, Rich. But you know what? We saw a great race last week to kick off the season, and I think we're going to see another excellent one here tonight.
I think we are as well, and you know, those 20 incident points seem like a lot, and to me it's a lot. I'm usually one who gets very little of them, probably because I have no pace. But on ORAN Park, some drivers may start running into issues. I mean, you get a little bit of contact, there's 4 points, and it's very easy to get a little off kilter here, especially with 38 cars on the tight confines. We're looking at, what, just a minute 3-second lap time here?
Yeah, just over a minute long. So yeah, as you mentioned it, Rich, it's going to be real tight. I'm just looking at my track map for qualifying right now, and we have a couple cars into the pits, but mostly we got at least 30 plus cars on track right now setting and qualifying, and there's not a whole lot of empty track out there for our drivers to try and find to put a clean lap in. So I'm going to safe to say probably the best lap that they put in qualifying was probably going to be their earliest one out there when they had a little more track space. So right now it's just going to get getting accustomed to the track, trying to find your racing space for those drivers that you're around once we get into the race session.
Hey, look who's back. It's Pete Mejia on screen. Pete, nice to see Pete driving in the Ferrari. Well, lots of Ferraris represented, but we've got other makes as well.
Yeah, Pete was one of those drivers that was signed up for Porsche Cup that has now come back over to the GT3 side of things. He's brought his PLR SimSport team members with him, so we'll see how they do. I believe there was some talk potentially of giving those drivers who were signed up for Porsche Cup and have hopped over into the GT3 side of things a little bit of mercy points to start them off the season so that they're not behind after missing race one. So I didn't see what the final decision of that. We'll see if that plays out as it goes on. But right now we've got we're on board here with Colin McKenzie, one of our Acura drivers. We actually have another Acura driver as well, Brett Bancari. I think we had 3 last week. Can't remember who the other Acura driver was, but we're down to 2 this week, Rich. The old Dustbuster support team is Andrew Venaro. That's who it was, correct. Our Dustbuster support team here is dropped off by one driver this week. We see James Hand. He's going to call it quits on his run. As you see the fireworks going off, that's a signal the end of qualifying. They will be able to finish the lap that they were on before the checkered flag came out. But as Rich mentioned, only a 1 minute lap here. It's not going to take long to get back to that checkered flag.
Certainly isn't. There's Jack Hedgecoats coming around to complete his last and final lap, looking to improve. He's sitting in 3rd right now. Does Jack have enough to move up the scale here? No, it looks like Jack Hedgecoats sticking in 3rd.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and find that pace. Once we get into the race itself, a couple drivers still left on track. Josh Cohen putting in some time. David Morse across the line for him, currently sitting in 17th place. He's going to move up into 15th with that one. So nice final lap there for David Morse, who was a strong competitor in the AM class last season. Rich, we'll see if he can build off that again this season. Corey Precker, we haven't seen him out racing in a number of seasons. He's driving your favorite car, Rich, the Corvette.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not going to change now.
Welcome in Ian Cabana in chat. I think I read that Ian had just moved. He doesn't quite have his sim brake set back up, so he's not going to be joining us this week. We'll see if maybe he's back on track next week to join his teammate Kevin Berquist. But that's going to end it for qualifying here. We'll just wait for the session to click over into the race. We'll have a look at the grid.
Yeah, I don't know about Ian there. I mean, when I moved recently, Rob, I set up my rig before the bed. Come on, Ian.
You're not doing any racing, though, Rich. You're busy talking about racing instead.
Well, yeah, well, whatever.
Let's take a look at the grid. William Fenson, our resident Aussie, going to take pole here this evening with Jim Felice to his outside. So we'll see how William does. The Ferrari of Gonzalo Cortez going to start in third place with Jack Hedgecox to his outside in row 2. Row 3, we're going to find David Bush III in 5th place with Jason Park in 6th. 7th place is going to go to Herbert Pineda and Colin McKenzie to his outside in 8th. 9th and 10th, we're going to find Andrew Trickett and Samuel Garcia.
Yeah, on row 6, Seb Goche in 11th, and we've got Nick Goen in 12th. On row 7, we have Pete Mejia in 13th, Josh Goen in 14th. Row 8, David Morris returns in 15th, Josh Spears in 16th. In row 9, we've got Andrew Venaro with Giovanni Sumagod. And in row 10, 19th place is Jeff Evans, Andy Mills in 20th.
Andy Mills looking like a professional race car driver there in his profile picture. Well done to him. 21st place is going to be Ryan O'Connor with Aaron Lewis to his outside in 22nd. 23rd, 24th is where we're going to find Ryan Bird and Chip Michaels. 25th place, Kevin Berquist and Cabana's teammate in chat here, and Chris McDonald starting in 26th. 27th place is going to be Kyle Dewey. He looks like he's ready to go to a wedding, not do some racing, but he's going to be on the inside of Corey Precker in 28th. And then 29th place, we're going to find Aaron Harmon. And right at the top 30 is going to be Cesar Jimenez.
We got more though, folks. Row 16, 31st place, Doug Evans, James Hand in 32nd. Row 17, 33rd place, we've got Justin Welsh, Brett Pancari in 34th. In 35th place, we have Taylor Shank. 36, Max Gomez. And rounding out our field, row 19, we've got Jack Polyak and Jay Steffi.
There we go. The field is off around behind the Porsche pace car. Short pace lap here this evening. There we go. Already green flag is out. William Fenson going to hold on to his pole position on the inside. This is a tough braking marker into turn 1. You just get this little kink here, Rich. A little bit of you got to have some commitment level to send it in there as we see Feliz go out onto the grass. Oh, into the tire barrier. Hard impact for Jim Feliz. He's going to fall down a number of spots. We're seeing a couple of cars too as well. Jason Park, who started up on the 3rd row, he's out as well, all the way down to the back. Colin McKenzie out too as well. So a tough start for a lot of our front runners here tonight, Rich.
Yeah, and I'm not going to call Monday morning quarterback, but that's kind of predictable here at turn 1 and turn 2 at Oran Park. Decreasing radius corner, really, really tough, especially going too wide, as they like to do on lap 1. But right now, P1, Gonzalo Cortez, Jack Hedgecox up to 2nd place. So Jack Hedgecox and Gonzalo Cortez kind of breaking away from the field with those incidents in behind.
Yeah, especially when that was our 2nd place driver went off. Everybody else kind of had to back off the throttle there, Rich, try and collect himself off. But there we see the first laps in. Gonzalo Cortez, Jack Hedgecox opening up a bit of a gap over Andrew Trickett, who was the biggest benefactor up in the top 15 here. Those incidents, he's up 6 positions here into 3rd place. Also our top Pro-Am driver. It looks like David Morse falling down through the field too as well. He is off into the sand and the mud off on the right-hand side. He's getting passed by a number of drivers down into the 30th place position, trying to find a spot to get himself back on track. He's going to fall all the way to the tail end of the field, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, definitely. That turn 1-2 complex catching David Morse off guard, just like it caught others on lap 1. So hopefully the drivers start getting a handle on that as the race progresses. We're only on lap 2. Just, oh my goodness, just two minutes into this race so far. But take a look here, going along with Josh Goen, you get to see the elevation changes here. Great camera work by Truckcams 22. Here we go from the in-car. You're climbing up the hill, you're going down the pit lane straight, and this straightaway is, look at the drivers trying to break the draft up there. That's not doing anything, folks. Come on, keep going. Anyhow, we're going into turn 1. And then at decreased radius, you're going to come way out to the right, and the drivers there are getting just a little past that curb. Once the right tires are on the dirt, there's no grip, and then you're just at the mercy of the racing gods.
Yeah, it's a small track, but it's got some real character to it. I especially like this corner that they're about to go up into now. You come around this right sweeper, then you go up over the bridge, Rich. Not too many times do you go over a bridge in GT3 racing, but a real tight right-hander there as well. You get a lot of kind of blindish off-camber corners here around ORAN Park. It's fun in like a Mazda F4, but it is a handful here in GT3, so I'm kind of surprised that we haven't had more calamity than we did to start the race off here. So well done to a lot of our drivers who have been able to navigate through the first couple laps. We're already on to the third lap here, only 3 minutes into the race.
Yeah, very, very quick lap times, and the field is starting to spread out now. We've got the field basically occupying half of the track, so that's, like you said, 3.5 minutes into the race now. I figure by about lap 10, maybe less, the leaders are going to be starting to catch up to the back of the pack, and that's when things are going to get real interesting as we take a look on board at the rear view camera of Gonzalo Cortez. He's got a Jack Hedgecock's all up in his rear end there, Rob, and Jack Hedgecock's applying tremendous pressure. Drivers starting third and fourth, up to 1 and 2.
Yeah, Jack Hedgecock's giving that Ferrari ahead of him a little bit of a prostate exam as they head around the track. Rich, we'll see what the prognosis is when the results come back in, but Trickett and Busch not too far back behind them, only about a 1.5 seconds in behind that lead battle. They've opened up a bit of a gap over Herbert Pineda, as he's got Seb Gauthier, Samuel Garcia, Pete Mejia, Josh going all in tow. And looks like something happened to William Fenton too as well, our pole sitter. You hate to see that for the Aussie at his home track here, one of the home tracks for him. So let's see if we kind of pick up what happened to him. I think he went off as well after Feliz went off. I think William Fenton went off too as well. So I'll see if I find a replay of that. I think we might have it right here. Let's see what happens. So Benson on the inside, Feliz on the outside. So Feliz going to go wide there into the dirt. Benson tried to late brake, cold tires, and he goes off into the dirt. So rough start for our front row of the grid here tonight, Rich.
Rough start, but fortunately, they didn't really take anybody else out, and that made for some great racing. That let Gonzalo Cortez, Jack Ketchcoats get where they are, but look at this train we've got going here right now. Aaron Lewis, wow, that is some good, close racing. Aaron Lewis sitting in 19th place, falling along behind Ryan Bird, and there wasn't an inch between the two cars there in that last corner. These drivers are battling hard, and I mean, these kind of bumpy, over-the-top hills with a turn at the same time really makes for some blind racing. You really got to know where your corner entry is going to be, where to lift off, where to get on the brakes. Take a look, Aaron Lewis poking the nose out on Ryan Bird, but so far he's just hanging tight. This is a really difficult spot to pass. You really got to send it, and it can be very dangerous trying to go here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm wondering right now if maybe Ryan Bird, a little bit of the cork in the bottle here, is you just see that train of cars in behind him, a little bit of a gap between he and Jim Feliz. Feliz on that recovery run after going off into turn 1, but on the inlay, you see Nick going as he has moved ahead of Pete Mejia now, trying to chase down Samuel Garcia up ahead. He was a little closer, fell back a little bit here now, but we're starting to see some packs develop here, Rich, which, you know, it's kind of not all, I shouldn't say kind of surprising. It's not all that surprising with the track being so short. One mistake, you can lose a number of spots and positions too as well, and that just kind of bottlenecks up the rest of the field where they have to, you know, back out because there's not a whole lot of room for them to run off without getting into the back of you. So that's going to divide up the grid here a little bit, and we're seeing those packs start to develop. We'll see if it continues on, but I'm really anticipating once we get into the lap traffic, it's going to be something to watch these drivers navigate through. They're going to have to really be aware of the blue flags if they're one of the slower cars they're getting past. You know, you don't want to get wrapped up taking out one of the leaders. They're going around you. Plus, you don't want to ruin your race too as well.
Yeah, I think in another 5 or 6 laps, any gaps that we see on the track are going to slowly decrease because there's only so much room there. Take a look here at William Fenton on a recovery mission. He's back up to 11th right now. Oh, getting real close and up and friendly with Josh going up ahead. So Fenton, the Riot Motorsports, a Team Red driver, driving with a little bit of red mist, a little upset probably with himself on that early incident, going a little off track, and you know what, William Fenton has got tremendous pace. So right now it looks like William Fenton has got the fastest lap of anybody. So he's really, really trying hard to move up.
As we head back a little farther, we got our two Acuras on track together, Brent Pancari and Colin McKenzie, as they're battling it out. That is for 30th and 31st place. McKenzie has parking behind him, so those two drivers as well trying to recover after their early race incidents. So we got battles up and down through the grid here, Rich. Drivers who are showed some pace in qualifying but had unfortunate incidents in lap one. They're going to be wanting to get back through the field as quick as they can, but they're going to have to use a little bit of patience here. You don't want to get pushing the envelope or pushing the issue too much and, you know, end up having an even worse day than what it's already started out here.
You know, that's certainly not. There's still 36 minutes left. We're just barely into this race. Hey, Rob, I just thought I noticed something. Was that a red fox sitting beside Brett Pancari while he was racing with VR? That's a mighty brave of him, with a fox sitting just to the left of him and not being able to see what's going on in the outside world from the racetrack. But anyhow, Jeff Evans sitting in 16th place, started 19th. So Jeff Evans, the Whataback Racing, love that team name, sitting three positions up from where he started and well in the mix with Jim Feliz looking for his recovery run behind him. Jim Feliz on the hunt. Jim Feliz got himself some really, really strong pace as well. It's just a really tough track to pass on. So when you get yourself down, you know, 17th place, making your way up to the podium, that's really tough. That's a lot of cars to get by on this really tight track.
You know, I could go for a Whataburger right now.
Oh.
You mentioned the Whataback car there, Rich, but it's kind of making me hungry. The pasta that I had for dinner, it's kind of starting to subside, so I may have to have a little snack halfway through the race. But looks like things have calmed down here for a little bit. We didn't get a chance to touch on the points before we got into the race, so let's quickly have a look at the team's points while this is going on. So we saw after race one, Going Racing Ruby has taken the lead in the points for the teams. They're 10 points ahead of SRT Purple, with Riot Motorsports only 2 points back of them. Lunatic currently in 4th place, with Riot Team Yellow in 5th. And then let's quickly just take a look at the pro points. Coming into this one, Jack Hedgecock's leading the way by virtue of his win. William Fenton in 2nd place. Jim Feliz currently in 3rd. Two of those 3 drivers had a rough start to this race. Herbert Pineda, Nicholas Goen round out the top 5. We'll take a look at the Pro-Am and Am a little later on. But you know what, Rich? It's one of those things early on in the season. One mistake in the race can cost you a number of spots in the championship. But thankfully, all these drivers have one drop week to still utilize. Some of them might be taking that race tonight.
Yeah, and it's still early. We're only on week 10 of the 10 race schedule. So I don't think anybody's going to win every week. So just try and maximize your points every week, and that's the key to consistency and the key to a championship. So that's what you like to see. I mean, William Fenson's still sitting at 11th, but Jim Feliz also stuck in 17th. But there's a lot of racing left to go, so get every point you can, because you don't know what's going to happen in future weeks. On the big screen, David Bush III, as always, in the Lambo. David Bush III in 4th place. Solid effort. We've got Ferraris 1 and 2, Porsche, and then Lambo. So nice to see some other cars in the mix up at the front.
Oh, we got Aaron Lewis around. The front end of that Ferrari is missing in action. He's going to try and get a turn. Oh, he's going to have to tow back to the pits. We'll take a look what happened to him. Last we saw, he was battling with, I think it was Ryan Bird. Oh, we got, I believe that was Chris McDonald in our lone Audi off to the side too as well. He's got significant front end damage. So this is the first race for him. He's one of those Porsche Cup drivers who's moved over into GT3 too as well. So rough race, rough track and race here to kick off your entry into Throttle Freaks, let alone into the GT3 season. But let's take a look here at what happened to Chris McDonald first. As you see him battling with Colin McKenzie on the inside, he's already missing that front bumper. Oh, he just gets into the back of, not sure who that was that went off at the side there. What Ferrari that was? Was that Justin? It was Justin Welsh. So we'll have to see maybe what happened there. I don't know if that was had some intention behind it there or not, Rich, but I guess yeah, we might have to take another look.
Yeah, we'll reserve some judgment there, folks. We are not judge, jury, or executioners here at Mid-Racer Nexus. We're here to entertain.
We are. I'm the judge, jury, executioner. I'm the warden. I'm the Kyle Dewey was just minding his business, trying to stay out of that. Oh, there goes Mackenzie off to the side. The Unicorn Machine off too as well. Dewey looks like he was able to get through without any damage, maybe a little bit of splitter damage there. But I'm trying to see what happened between the drivers earlier. I think we caught them. Here's Aaron Lewis heading in. Ooh, a little bit of neck code contact with Ryan Bird there. Couldn't get it. Car slowed up, so it wiggled at the back end, and then the Audi just came through of Chris McDonald into him. The I-75 car, I think that was Taylor Schenk there too as well, head through, and everybody just carries on from there. But unfortunately, not much at all. I think McDonald didn't have any steering there, but it looks like you could hear him hit the brakes, but the car just did not want to turn.
Yeah, the front end damage. That definitely looked like front end damage causing that instead of a little bit of red mist. But unfortunate for Chris McDonald, that ruins his race. But up at the front, Gonzalo Cortez continuing to hold off Jack Hedgecock's. Got about a half a second gap. Jack Hedgecock's, I'm not saying he's fallen off the pace here, but there's a few cars in between them now. Jack Hedgecock's going to want to close that up. Perhaps he's just sitting back there, saving the tires a little bit, and trying to keep that engine cool down here in Australia.
Yeah, let's take a look at the weather to see what it is there right now. It's still 68-degree air temp, 73 track temp, so we haven't seen any conditions as far as the weather goes changing here, Rich, but it looks like Hedgecock's starting to close that gap back in again. It could have been something just as simple as a little bit of lap traffic to cause them to back up a little bit as they are into the back end of the field now. We've got the 13 of Jack Polyak just up ahead of them. They'll be putting a lap on him very shortly, and then just up ahead of them, they got the 95 of who's the 95? Ryan O'Connor. He's back on track with the front end of that Audi missing, so we'll see how he does. But Gonzalo Cortez going to have to show some patience here as they navigate through the lap traffic here, Rich. It's where Jack Hedgecock, no doubt, is going to be trying to plan his attack here now to try and see where maybe Cortez gets held up at a corner and Hedgecock can stick the nose up on the inside, potentially take that spot away.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing how these drivers navigate traffic as they come up upon it. Gonzalo Cortez, he's going to, and here comes Jim Feliz into the pits. Rather early, but I think Jim's may have some issues he's want to address here. Hopefully he's got enough time there to get to the end, hitting this early, or enough fuel anyways.
Yeah, maybe just a strategy play here. Normally we say you pit early because you're trying to get out of the battle that you're in, trying to find some clean track. I don't think they're going to find a clean area of track tonight here, Rich. It's going to be pretty hectic from start to finish. But we take a look here at Pete Mejia. Connection issue there for Pete Mejia. He's going to blink out for a second, but he's in a going sandwich here. He's got Nick going ahead of him, Josh going in behind him, and Pete Mejia, the PLR SimSport driver, being the meat on the sandwich. Now I wonder if he's a little bit of roast beef, maybe some turkey breast, ham. What kind of sandwich do you think Pete Mejia?
Oh, welcome back, Pete. That's a solid effort for your first GT3 race in a while, so nice to have Pete Mejia back with us, and he's certainly got himself in some interesting quarters. We'll take a look here at Giovanni Sumogod sitting in 13th, or sorry, not 13th place. I'm just all over the place here, Rob. Help me out here. Yeah, he is in 13th place. Yeah, he is in 13th. It's a solid race, up 5 positions. A lot of these drivers really taking advantage of the situation at hand and getting themselves up into positions that they normally not in. So good clean racing will get you somewhere here, in Giovanni Sumogod leading in the amateur division.
Yeah, we see William Vincent in too as well to get some service done in his car. Let's head back to Herbert Pineda, sorry. He's up 2 spots. Seb Gauthier in behind him. Gauthier up 5 spots too as well, so nice run for Seb. I believe he's our highest gainer. No, sorry, Andrew Trick is still sitting at +6 in the top 10 right now, but we've got some big movers a little farther back of the field. Corey Precker up 12 spots. Cesar Jimenez up 11 spots too as well in 19th place. And then Jay Steffi started at the back of the grid here. He sent me a message earlier this week, Rich, said he was going to start at the back, didn't want to get involved in anybody's races and wrecking them, but it looked like that might have been the strategy here tonight, just sitting at the back, putting in some laps. He's moved up 13 spots into 25th place.
Yeah, it's not necessarily my strategy, but I can appreciate why he did that. But with a 38 car field, that really sets you back, and it's hard to recover from. Just take a look here. Josh Goen, currently in 10th place, falling along behind Pete Mejia. Pete Mejia has fallen a little bit off the pace of Nick Goen up ahead. So Pete Mejia and Josh Goen continuing to have this battle. This has been going on for a number of laps now, and great racing between these three Ferraris.
Yeah, a whole lot of Ferraris on the grid, but we do have a few off makes here and there. So, you know what, it almost looks like a Ferrari challenge out there. I trust me, folks, it is not a fixed Ferrari race. They can pick whatever one of the GT3s they want. But let's go take a look at a couple of non-Ferraris here right now. We got the BMW of Jason Park, as he's got Eric Harmon, another one of the Whataback drivers, just up ahead of him in the BMW, and then Cesar Jimenez representing Team I-75 Motorsports just up ahead of them. So Porsche, BMW, Ford battling for 19th, 20th, and 21st place on the grid here, Rich.
Yeah, and great racing. I mean, this is 20 minutes in, and kind of nose to tail, all this deep in the field. That said, I don't think there's two or 3 seconds between any car on this track right now. We've got them spread all over the place, including a couple in pit lane, unfortunately, for drivers such as Justin Welsh and Aaron Lewis.
Yeah, we'll see if those drivers are able to get some repairs enacted so they can come back out on track. But as we ride on board here with Jason Park with the Ford Mustang, you hear that motor just screaming down the front straight. Real tough to try and get it slowed down for that corner, Rich. It's a little bit off camber. It's like a double off camber left hand turn corner. No real runoff there too as well. So if you go wide, as we saw Fenton and Feliz do on the front, or at the very start of the race on lap 1, it's tough to get the car slowed down. And ORAN Park, you're not a big track where you don't have a whole lot of runoff. If you do make that mistake where you got time to really gather up the car, those tire barriers really come at you real quick.
Well, they certainly do, but well, here we go. Good little battle here with Colin McKenzie, sitting in 23rd place after the little earlier issue, but James Hand up ahead of him. We haven't seen James Hand yet today. James Hand up 10 positions, so James Hand having a solid run, sitting 4th in class right now. Colin McKenzie, issues earlier on, looking to battle back and really sticking the nose in deep here, but so far so good. Going down the main pit straightaway, Colin McKenzie going to the inside on James Hand. Is he going to get this move done? This is a tough spot to, yep, James Hand backs out of it. That's Colin through. James Hand gets a couple of tires on the dirt, manages to get it woed up. Good job by James Hand keeping things in control, but Brett Bancari, and it looks like the Red Fox there, now is getting into the mix here with James Hand and Colin McKenzie.
I wonder if that's the Car Fox, Rich. He's doing damage reports on the cars as he's going around with them on track here. But I was also going to go with what did the Fox say. But you know what? Either way, Brett Bancari, he's got himself up 10 spots into 24th place. He's going to be trying to capitalize on James Hand up ahead of him. As it looks like maybe the BMW a little too wide, possibly for ORAN Park. You need maybe a GT3 that's a little more nimble like the Porsche or the Ferraris. Looks like the wide BMW, the wide Ford are going to struggle here this evening.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, it's tough, and maybe the advantage is going to the mid-engines here. But speaking of mid-engines, as Herbert Pineda having a solid effort. 5th place, up 2 positions, so he took advantage of the 2 leaders falling off the pace. Hasn't really changed since then, though. He's got David Bush the 3rd up ahead of him. Seb Gauthier in behind with Samuel Garcia right in behind Seb. So, like I said, Rob, these drivers, except for Gonzalo Cortez and Jack Hitchcokes, who've broken out to about a 10-second lead over the rest of them, The rest of them are just kind of all within half a second or less of each other, going back quite a ways.
Yeah, we can see on the inset there, picture-in-picture, our leaders are firmly in the back half of the field now, having to navigate through traffic. Looks like Cortez was able to get through the first couple drivers a little quicker than Hedgecoats did. He opened up a little bit of a gap now, but you know what, Samuel Garcia, you mentioned it, Rich, he had a nice race last week, trying to build on that here this week at ORAN Park. He's our second highest placed Porsche. So although we do have a ton of Ferraris up in the top 10, we've got 2 Porsches and we have a Lambo of David Busch III. So we're seeing a little bit of variety, being able to be capable of putting in quick times here tonight. That Lambo, you know what, it's, some people really love it. I've always struggled to get the pace out of it. With David Busch III, you can basically set your watch by it, Rich. He's going to be driving that Lambo season in, season out.
Good. Good, because that's what we expect, David, and we appreciate it because we like having a Lambo in the race. And no matter where you go, if David Busch III is there, we've got a Lamborghini. David Busch III sitting in a 4th place right now. Solid race. He's got Andrew Trickett ahead of him, and they're coming up on the lap traffic of, it looks like, is that Shank? Yes, it is, and getting by and moving out of the way. Thank you very much, Taylor, for the race sportsmanship and the driving. Oh, that is really, really tough. But keeping out of the way and doing his best to keep moving forward. So really, really tough spot. You got to feel for drivers here getting lapped. There's not so many places to move out of the way.
Yeah, you can see he was just trying so hard to stay out of the way there, Rich, but got up on the curbs and almost got the car unsettled. And Seb Gauthier was probably seeing his race flash before his eyes there for a minute, but thankfully Samuel Garcia in behind Gauthier recognized that too as well. It didn't push the issue. So that's what these drivers need. They need to realize that it is a long race, although we're just past the halfway mark here now. They still have the back half of the race to go. There's still plenty of time to try and make those moves. No real need to really push the envelope and try and force a mistake. They got plenty of time to try and do it. But we got a battle here between the Mustang of Evans, Giovanni Sumogod. I gotta say, that's probably the best name in the league this season. Giovanni.
For sure.
As we see, Evans going to peel off. He's going to come in for his pit stop. That's going to release Sumogod and Venaro to keep running out there. Oh, Venaro is in the race. I missed him at the start. So we do have all 3 of our Acuras on grid here tonight. So the Dustbusters are live and representing here tonight, Rich.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, I'm a fan of the Acura. It's a good all-purpose GT3 car, in my opinion. I think it doesn't get used enough, and it's nice to see we've actually got 3 in this league, which is more than we see in most others. Heck, I think we do a broadcast in another league where one of the drivers is driving it as almost a penalty. But taking a look on board here, Jim Feliz, he's done his pit stop. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to get all the way to the end here. 29th place. Oh, sending it almost through the car of Kyle Dewey up ahead of him, but Feliz looking to get back on track, and wow.
That just gave Dewey a black flag for incident points. We saw he got wrapped up in something early on. He came around, tried to avoid that pile up, Rich, and that little contact from Jim Feliz has now put him over the incident points. He has a black flag now, so that's going to hurt for Kyle Dewey, unfortunately, as we see a few more drivers coming into the pits. Ryan Bird, Josh Goen, they are in to serve their pit stop. But you know what, Jim Feliz, I think he was trying to be a little too cautious there, was trying to give a little more space, and I think Dewey was trying to brake early just to let him through, and unfortunately there's no communication between those 2 drivers, and we saw what happened there, a little bit of contact.
Yeah, and not only that, but I mean, if Dewey's at 20 incident points already, you get another penalty at 24, and we've still got over 18 minutes left, so it's going to be a tough race for Kyle Dewey to get finished, but best of luck. Up front, though, Gonzalo Cortez, Jack Hedgecoats continue to lead the way. Hedgecoats about a half second behind right now. He's been up as close as his rear bumper in the last couple of laps, though, so it's really corner by corner and corner exit by corner exit in terms of how close Jack is to Gonzalo Cortez at this stage.
Yeah, so take a look at the Apex Sim Racing Shop last 5 laps. You see there, Cortez been quicker than Hedgecoats for the most part, but lap 24, Hedgecoats found a little more pace, and I think that's where Cortez unfortunately wasn't able to make it through the lap traffic as quick as he has been. And That's firmly put Hedgecoats right back on his tailpipe here again, Rich. So we'll see now if Jack Hedgecoats can do something with that, or if he's going to have to, you know what, try and bide his time and maybe try and make that maneuver through the pit cycle here, possibly.
Yeah, well, if you can't pass him on the track, make sure your pit crew is a little bit faster than that of the driver ahead of you. And so far, that looks like a Jack Hedgecoat's best bet. Certainly not for lack of pace, but Gonzalo Cortez has the equal pace, and there's, you know, you need a little bit of an overlap in terms of pace on a tight track like this, and they just don't have it. But take a look here at Eric Harmon and Cesar Jimenez. Harmon, or sorry, that's Jason Park sending it up the inside, and I really love that livery of Jason Park, and a great move. Jason Park, he's up to 14th place, still down 8 positions on the day, trying to gain some of those spots back that he lost very early on in this race.
Yeah, he was making a move on Jimenez, their second place AM driver. Jimenez up 15 spots in the overall, so he's got a nice race shaping up for him. Doesn't really want to force the issue with Park. He's going to sit comfortably in that second place position in class, but now he's got Colin McKenzie right in behind him. And McKenzie, another one of those drivers, I believe he started on the same row as Park to kick this one off. Both those drivers had a rough for lap 1, fell back through the field, and they're in the midst of their recovery run. They still owe us a pit stop, both those drivers do. But there on the left hand side, we sorted our drivers into classes for a minute here, so you can take a look and see where your favorite driver is sitting in class versus the overall position. Cortez leading the pro side, Trickett leading the Pro-Am, and Precker currently leading the AM side. Points are doled out where you finish in the overall position, not where you finish in class. So although it is nice to be in a podium position for your class, you still want to be as far ahead as you can, have as many drivers in between you to maximize your points all.
Well, yeah, you certainly do, and that's it's points based on your finishing position in the race, not based on your finishing position by class. So, if I'm going by memory, my memory should be right by now. We've covered enough of these races, so every car you pass or every car you keep behind you counts for points. Take a look at the backup. Chip Michaels. Chip Michaels is sitting in 12th place with. He's there. Jimenez in behind him. Colin McKenzie in behind them. This gives you a really good angle at the difficulty of this track with the elevation changes, the off-camber corners here and there, the dirt just off the curbing. It's really a technical track, and you've got to get in a good rhythm in order to excel here at Oran Park.
Yeah, there's not really any heavy braking sections where, you know, traditional track where you have a couple spots where you can really hammer into the brakes, try and throw the car up at the inside. It's really kind of a flowy track where that makes those passing opportunities, the few and far that they are, you really have to try and capitalize them when you can. As you see Cesar Jimenez making his way around the lap car, the 41 of, man, who was that? Doug Evans in the Whataback Mustang. Colin McKenzie going to try and capitalize on that as he closes in on Jimenez. It's a battle for overall position. Both drivers are in 2 different classes, Jimenez in AM with McKenzie in Pro-Am. But you know what, we took a look at the Pro and team points earlier. Rich, why don't you take us through the Pro-Am points as it stands coming into this one?
Yeah, Pro-Am race victor last week at Dale Peterson. Second place, we've got Jason Park. Third place, Colin McKenzie with a great solid effort. In fourth, Kevin Berquist. Jack Poliak is in 5th, and then we have Jay Steffi 6th, Andrew Trickett 7th, and nice close battles here. Josh Goa and Seb Goche and Sam Goche all, you know, separated by 1.
And over in the pro side, Kyle Dewey came in leading this one, although rough race for him. You saw he got the drive-through in this one.
Am-side.
What'd I say? Pro-Am?
You said pros.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I mean, if I was Kyle Dewey, I'd take being a pro.
Kyle Dewey in the AM side comes in leading this one over James Hand and Taylor Shank, but we saw a number of those drivers having a rough start to this race, so things are going to get twisted up a little bit in this one towards the end. But Andrew Trickett, he's coming in for his pit stop. You see how very short pit entry here at Oran Park, so you really have to get the car woed down, and those cement barriers aren't going to move. Ask me how I know.
I'm not going to ask. I think we know. Taking a look here, David Bush III. That promotes him up to second place. He's 15 and a half seconds behind Gonzalo Cortez, but continuing to lead Herbert Pineda. Herbert Pineda moves up to third with their pit stop still to go. Jack Hedgecoats is out and about. He's still holding on to fourth place. That shows you how quick he's been all race long.
Yeah, only a 10-second stop in his stall for Jack Hedgecoats. With these short laps, they're not using a whole lot of fuel going around, so this will be a quick splash for them. Looks like Josh going and Nick going. Really very quick stops for them. 8.7 seconds for Nick going, 9.2 for Josh going. They're all on the same team as Jack Hedgecoats, the Going Racing team, so not surprising to see those drivers. It looks like they've worked some team strategy out here, but as far as how much fuel they're going to need, Rich.
So does that mean, whoa, it's big slide. Ryan Bird, Giovanni, Sumagod saves it. Looks like Bird may have saved it as well. Both of them somehow keeping it. No, Sumagod now is slipping and sliding some more. Getting it back underway. And wow, that's getting close. Chip Michaels going to let me out of here.
Yeah, Giovanni Sumo God looked like the drift god there for a minute heading into turn one. But let's see if we can take a look and try and figure out what the heck happened there as they both went flying off track. So I think this is it here. We got Ryan Bird on the inside, Sumo God on the outside. And just a little bit of contact in the left rear there. Looks like Bird was carrying a little more pace, and I'm not sure which one of the Ferraris.
Who was that who was going slow? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Somebody was slow up ahead of them, and I think that may have caused some of that, the two cars to get into each other.
Let's see if we can find out. Oh man, let's see if we can find out what happened here between the two of them. It's the 13. Who was that? The 13. That's Kyle Dewey.
Fencing?
No, Kyle Dewey, who was back on track after serving that drive-through. Was really slow. They came through, and unfortunately, I think that just caused a bottleneck there, and everybody just had nowhere to go. Unfortunately, the tight confines of the track. Let's see what happens there. So Hedgecoats completed his stop. Cortez completed his stop. They're good to go to the end of the race with 10 minutes to go. Cortez was able to open up a little bit of a gap with about 3/10 quicker in his stall than what Hedgecoats was. That gap now 1.1 seconds. Jack Hedgecoats has his work cut out here for him. Connection issue there for Hedgecoats. Hopefully that clears up. I haven't seen him come back in here yet. Hopefully he doesn't get the iRacing boot to the pit. There he is back in now. So he's going to want to hope that clears up, because we've seen a number of drivers with less connection issues than that, Rich, unfortunately get the old iRacing toss you into the pits until it clears up. So hopefully that clears up for Jack with only 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, we don't want to see a disconnect issue causing a loss of position or a loss of the race. But Seb Gauthier had himself a solid effort, up 5 positions. Seb on the tail of Herbert Pineda. Herbert Pineda, he's been solid all race long. Haven't talked too much about him, but he's basically went up to 5th place right on the opening lap, and he's just stuck there. But Seb Gauthier looks like he's driving a little angry. He's got all kinds of pressure on Herbert, and we'll see what happens going down to turn 1 and 2. We've seen a lot of interesting moves down here, and I think we're going to see some more. Just take a look at these drivers. It's just such a tough section.
Yeah, it's starting to bottleneck up again behind them. Gauthier and Pineda have a little bit of room, but then Nick going, Josh going, Samuel Garcia, Josh Spears. We haven't talked about him much tonight. He had a nice race last week. Didn't quite end the way he wanted, but first half of the race was well for him. Pete Mejia right there too as well. And Jeff Evans a little farther back, but they've got about 5-6 cars very close on track. Rich, all battling for position, and then we've got a couple classes mixed in between there. We got some pro drivers, some pro-am drivers, all intermingled in that battle.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the interclass racing. Just because that person behind you is in a different class, or the person ahead of you is in a different class, get by them or hold them off. Every point, every position counts, and there's no rules or regulations saying that you have to let the quote-unquote faster class through. If you're ahead of them, you're faster.
Is that the way it works out, Rich? I always thought maybe I was.
That's my rules. That's my physics lesson for the day, folks.
as we have a look here at Kevin Bergquist. He is trying to hold off the charge of Eric Harmon. They got Ryan Bird and Corey Precker up ahead of him. Bird, we saw, got wrapped up in turn one incident a couple laps ago. That car looks like it's kind of juking and jiving a little bit. I wonder if he's got a little bit of suspension damage after that incident. Doesn't look like he's quite has the pace he had before, but Corey Precker, our top AM driver, just up ahead of them as they're making their way around Sumo God. Giovanni Sumo God still out there putting in laps, but that car looks like it is an unhappy customer here.
Yeah, it's a rather unfortunate for Giovanni because he was having a solid race, and now he's just trying to finish it and get whatever points he can out of this. Just a little disappointing for him, I'm sure, but he'll be back next week, do a little different track and see how his luck goes there. Meanwhile, right up at the front, Gonzalo Cortez, he's got Taylor Shank up ahead of him, looking to lap him again. Jack Hedgecoast is closing that gap down slowly but surely. He was about 1.2 seconds behind. Now he's only about 7/10. So as the traffic and the laps continue to accumulate, Jack Hedgecoast continues to close that gap. But does he have enough to get by? It's one thing to catch up. It's something totally different to pass the leader.
Yeah, well, we saw when he came out from his pit stop. Actually, I guess Cortez came in after. So when Cortez finished his stop, Cortez came out with about a 1.2 second gap over Hedgecock. So Hedgecock has cut that in half. They're coming up on the back of some traffic here, so Hedgecock might be able to close it a little bit further. As we see, it's like Taylor Shank in the My Little Pony Mustang. He's going to go off track to allow our leaders through. And hats off to him. Thank you for that, Taylor. But that's going to allow Hedgecock's even a little closer here to Cortez. So getting down to about 5 and give or take a half minute to go, Rich. That's going to give us maybe 4 more laps of racing. So time's starting to run out quickly here for Jack Hedgecock to try and take the back-to-back win.
Yeah, I'm not liking Jack's chances, but you know, if anybody can do it, I think the Going Racing driver can, because he's proven it time and time again, season after season. Well, except for last season, of course, but that's the exception to the rule. But Gonzalo Cortez, welcome to racing here at Throttle Freaks and Racer Nexus. Quite the introduction here for this race. Started in third, continues to lead this race from basically turn 3 all the way on.
Yeah, we saw Cortez and his PLR Sim Sport teammates back, I think it was season 1 or 2 of Throttle Freaks. And we haven't seen them back since, so nice to have him back representing too as well, and coming back with a thunderous race here tonight, Rich. So well done for him. Nice to see him back. And looks like Jack Hedgecock might have his work ahead of him here this season if he wants to take another win in the GT3 Pro class.
Well, you know what? That makes it more interesting for the drivers. It makes it more interesting for us too. We like seeing good hard racing, multiple opportunities, multiple cars up at the front, but we also like seeing a great hard racing in the mid pack here. Look at this action going. Going is battling on and trying to get Seb Gauthier. Seb Gauthier is having himself a look at Herbert Pineda. And we got cars lined up, we got 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, there's not much room to breathe out there right now for a number of these racers. We're on board here with Seb Gauthier, as you mentioned. Jim Feliz, he's still trying to make his way through the field here, Rich. We saw him pit early, one of the first ones to come in. Doesn't look like that strategy's worked out for him. He's unable to find clean track. He's trying to make a move around Jeff Evans right now. That's a battle for 12th and 13th place in our pro class. So that's a battle for overall and positioning class 2 as well. So Jeff Evans not going to be willing to just give up that position to Jim Feliz. So Feliz going to have to try and find a way to fight around behind them. But Harmon and Precker, as we see Eric Harmon looking to the inside of our current AM leader, Corey Precker. Harmon going to take that position away. He's going to move himself up into 16th place, but luckily for Corey Precker, he has some positions to give here, as our second place driver in AM class is Cesar Jimenez back in 23rd place. As it looks like we had a pass for the lead. Hedgecock has made his way around Gonzalo Cortez. We can see what happened from that there, but it looks like Cortez might have dropped a tire into the dirty stuff off the side of the track here, Rich.
Oh, it looks like he caught a little bit of curbing there, or a little bit of the wall. Came over a little bit far, and that let Hedgehouse get a tremendous run. Cortez just had no exit speed out of that corner, hitting the wall, but he tries to send it anyway. Unfortunately, you're on the outside, and when you're outside there, there's just nowhere else to go but dipping a tire off track. Hedgehouse getting that move done, but that was all set up on the final corner when Cortez briefly touched the wall.
So they'll get the 3 to go this time by at the line, but Cortez, it's the first little bit of adversity we've seen him have to face all race. Rich, he was able to capitalize on Fenton and Flea's mistakes on lap 1, took the lead and didn't really look back at that point in time. Hedgecoke's now out front. We've seen him be able to dominate from the front, but they've got a number of lap cars up ahead, and you see them just up ahead there. I believe that's James Hand, one of those drivers up ahead. He's in a battle. We got a Porsche up front there too as well. So just having a look, I think that's Cesar Jimenez. Chip Michaels might be in there too as well. So a number of these drivers battling for their on-track positions in the overall as well. They're not just going to necessarily move over and let these drivers through.
Well, Jay Steffi did. Jay Steffi moved over, but yeah, that's a lot of traffic, and that's not something you want to see if you're Jack Hedgecokes at this stage of the race. After spending 43 minutes trying to get by Cortez, finally getting it done. And now you got 3-4 cars ahead, and we'll take a look here. Hedgecokes now, whoa, getting right out of the way. There we go. And Hedgecokes right behind James Hand. James Hand behind Jimenez. Hedgecokes going, come on, guys, get out of my way. I got a race going on. There we go. James Hand moving over. Very nicely done. Thank you, James. We're coming up here. We've got, is this the last lap, Rob? I didn't see if Barney was waving his flag. We got Hedgecokes. We've got Cortez. And they're going... more traffic up ahead. We've got Jimenez up next. Michael's up ahead of him. So this is it, Rob. This is getting exciting. White flag's out, and they're racing to the checker.
Yeah, it's the last lap, that slower lap there for Cortez and Hedgecokes when he took the lead. They were only about 2 seconds away from running that extra lap before they crossed the line with that lap, and that slower lap put it down to 42 laps instead of 43. So final time around for these drivers. As you mentioned, Jimenez up ahead, or sorry, it's Cesar Jimenez up ahead. Jack Hedgecokes trying to make his way around him, but only a couple more corners to go here for Hedgecokes to take back-to-back wins here to start the season off. Barring any catastrophe mistake, it looks like he should have this one done and dusted, but we saw Cortez hit this wall before. He looks to the outside, but Jack Hedgecokes going to take the win in round 2 here at ORAN Park.
Wow, what a race. What a race for them. David Bush III is sitting in 3rd place. He's got Andrew Trickett about half a second behind, so looks like we're going to get David Bush III on the podium in the Lamborghini.
Andrew Trickett going to take the Pro-Am class. Seb Gauthier going to come across in 2nd place in class. Josh Goen going to come home in 3rd. A little further back here, Corey Precker still leading our AM class. He's just ahead of, I think that's Kevin Berquist in behind him. Berquist trying to hold off Venaro, McKenzie, and Park. That's a battle for class in behind, but Precker doesn't want to give those positions up as Cesar Jimenez is just in behind them. Final corner to go. Corey Precker looks like he is set to take the win here in AM class at round 2. Kevin Berquist going to be able to hold off Venaro, McKenzie, and Park as they head to the line. Cesar Jimenez, he's going to come across the line with the SpongeBob SquarePants helmet. He's going to take 2nd spot in class, and James Hand going to round out the podium in AM in the 3rd.
Wow, that was not disappointing. That was a lot of excitement all the way up to the last couple of corners. Take a look at the battered and bruised Audi of Chris McDonald. Sorry for your introduction here, Chris, but we look forward to seeing some better results from you next time out.
Yeah, tough race to make your inaugural race in a league in, but Jack Hedgecokes, see him sitting on the front straight. He's going to pull it off. He'll head to the pits, do a little bit of debriefing, and then he'll join us in the booth for a chat about how his race went here at ORAN Park. I'll be interested to find out how his navigating through the traffic went. But let's take a look at our results here. Rich, first off, let's start with the Pro Class, where we saw Jack Hedgecokes take the win over Gonzalo Cortez and David Bush III. Herbert Pineda and Nick Goen going to round out the top 5 with Spears, Feliz, Evans, O'Connor, Bird, Harmon, McDonald, and Vincent rounding out the class. What's it look like over in Pro-Am, Rich? Well, looks like we've lost Rich for a minute. Andrew Trickett going to take top spot in Pro-Am with Seb Gauthier in second, and Josh Goen going to bring it home the final step on the podium. Samuel Garcia in fourth. Pete Mejia comes home in fifth. Kevin Berquist in sixth. Andrew Venaro in seventh, with Colin McKenzie in eighth. Jason Park in ninth. 10th place goes to Chip Michaels. Jay Steffi starting at the back, gets himself up into 11th. Jack Poliak in 12th. Stephen Morris, Brent Pocari, and Aaron Lewis going to round out our Pro-Am field. Over in Am, we've got Corey Precker takes the win ahead of Cesar Jimenez and James Hand. Doug Evans comes home in fourth, with Kyle Dewey in fifth. Mills, Shanks, Sumugod, Welsh, and Gomez all suffered catastrophic incidents in the race. They finished a number of laps down here this evening.
Rob, just Corey Precker, that's a name I haven't seen for a while, or am I just losing my mind?
We mentioned that earlier in the race, Rich.
See, I'm losing my mind. I got sunstroke, folks. I spent too much time outside today, and it was hot.
Oh man, it was hot. I spent half my day driving around the greater Toronto area, and you know what? Getting in and out of my car all day from the AC to go to appointments and back, it was no fun. But
Cry me a river. The AC's broken in my car, so getting fixed Thursday, folks. Oh, thank goodness.
That's what you get for driving an electric car, Rich. Everything's all electric. But let's bring in our race winner here, Jack Hedgecox, who's catching up with Richard Swindells.
Wow, Jack, that was exciting.
Yeah, I would say I'm a sweaty mess after that race. I'm not gonna lie. That's and you're going around a go-kart track in a GT3 car. You're having to be real precise, and man, with the traffic and everything throughout the whole race. And it was, wow, yeah, that was more than I expected from this week, for sure.
Did you think it was going to take 43 minutes for Gonzalo Cortez to make a mistake so you get by him? I mean, you were following him for, basically ever since turn 2 was over and you guys were up in the lead, and you just couldn't get close enough to make a move, and I didn't think it was going to happen.
No, I didn't either. I was, after the tape, to be fair, I'm just happy that we came out first and second after turn 2. I'd rather be in second than in fourth. So with what happened on lap 1, hate to see it, but love to see it at the same time as a competitor. So, but yeah, I mean, there was laps, like I didn't think when I pitted and I came out like a second over, a second behind, I was like, oh, it's over. There's no way I'm gonna have a chance. But I guess I was just a little bit faster, like last week, just quicker after the pit stop, because I was able to bring that gap down at least to where the
noticed.
Point where I could attack, to where I could be able to take advantage of a mistake. And oh, thank goodness, lap traffic, I love you. I love lap traffic. I saw he went wide.
Today you do.
Yeah, today I do. But yeah, I saw he went wide, and I was like, I have to go for it. I'm not backing out of this. Like, there's gonna be no other chance. So I'm just, props to him. I'm sure he's bummed about it being in the lead for that long. But yeah, that was crazy.
Well, it was a good day for going racing in general. I mean, Nick was 7th, Josh was 8th. So you guys got to be happy. Even Chip Michaels finished 22nd. So you guys got to be pretty happy with tonight's results. But next week, Spa. Totally different style of track. Mm-hmm. Something a little better suited to these cars.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're going to actually be able to pass and not take 43 minutes, to make one overtake.
We shall see. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, Jack?
Shout out to, hopefully my dad got to watch the end of that. I don't know if he got home in time to watch, but shout out to Dad, and shout out to the team. Like you said, they had a good race. I was I was listening in while I was over here sweating buckets behind Gonzalo for the whole race. So glad they got to get a good result, and Josh got a podium. So maybe he'll hop in here. I don't know. But and then Shane, what happened to Gio? He also was doing good, but I think he had a wreck later on. So we'll bounce back.
Well,
do even better
next week. Yep, and your dad can always catch us on the replay if he wasn't able to catch it live. But thanks a lot, Jack. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
It was our race winner, Jack Hedgecox, as well as taking the top spot in the pro class. Let's bring in now the driver he was chasing the majority of the race, but one mistake was all it took, Gonzalo, for Jack to be able to get around you. But first of all, welcome back. It's been a number of seasons since we've seen you on track here at Throttle Freaks, but a heck of a track to make your debut here in the season.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, it was a hard track. I'm not gonna lie. I was when they say I got 10 more laps to go, I was like, what? 10 more laps? But yeah, I took one little mistake. I was following the car, and I think he just dragged me into the wall. So he just felt. I didn't have no steering. He just kept going into the wall, and I knew at that time I was I lost it. But it was fun. He had good pace. He had me. He kept me honest the whole time.
How much difficulty did you have dealing with lap traffic out there?
Oh, that was something else. I'm not gonna lie, because it was just hard to follow no matter what. And then it's like you didn't know if they were slowing down or if they're like sometimes they would get a little loose, and then you think you can they were gonna let you by it, but then they stay in the line. So, but it was clean. I got some luck, and then at the beginning, so I think that helped a lot too.
Well, we head to a more traditional GT sports car track in Spa next week. So how are you feeling about heading into that one? It's definitely a track I suspect you know very well.
Yeah, I have some few laps in there. I actually like that track. I'm not the fastest on that track, but I like that track a lot. So I'll be happy to race in that for sure. I'll be doing a lot of practice for that one.
We look forward to seeing how you do next week. Before we let you go here, any of you shout-outs you want to give to anybody at home watching, cheering you on?
Yeah, just my friend P, my teammates, Aaron and Kyle and Lucas. And then thanks to P for dragging me into the season. Looking forward to it, and I'm happy to be here.
Excellent stuff, Gonzalo. Well, take care and best of luck heading into next week at Spa.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You too.
That was Gonzalo Cortez, our second place finisher in Pro class. Let's bring in our third place finisher in Pro, David Bush III, to catch up with Richard Swindells.
David, congratulations. What a solid effort tonight.
Thanks, Richard. It was, as expected, a bit of chaos mixed with a lot of work, I'll be honest.
It definitely looked like a lot of work. You had some good battles in there with, I believe it was Herbert Pinade and Andrew Trickett throughout the race. But you managed to prevail. Lots of traffic throughout the race. And, wow, that was... what'd you think of ORAN Park? I can't remember racing there in GT3 myself, but have you raced here before?
I have not. Tonight was my first laps on track. It took a little getting used to. It's a whole lot of commitment in these cars, and there's not much room for two cars, let alone 3 or 4 that we had at the start.
Well, it made for an interesting broadcast, David. I got to admit, but you survived. You survived the lap 1, turn 1, turn 2 complex there, where several other drivers went a little too deep on cold tires, and I think once that set you up and you kind of, settled in there. You started 5th, you finished 3rd. We lost the front 2. I think it was a battle of survival here, was it not?
Yep, that about sums it up. My goal was just make all the laps and hope that this doesn't become my drop week, which by the looks of it, I don't think this will be it.
Well, if this is your drop week, David, this is going to be a heck of a season. We look forward to it. Especially next week at Spa. I'd love to see the Lambo cruising down the Kemmel Straight. What do you think you've got in store for us next week?
Let's hope that I can get at least one car to just sit right in front of the Lambo, at least every time down the straight. That's what I'll need for next week.
There you go. Any shout-outs tonight, David?
As always, huge shout out to Lunatic Racing, the TFRL admins for all they do, and you guys at Racer Nexus for putting on a fabulous broadcast every week.
Oh, thanks a lot, David. We look forward to seeing you next week, and good luck again.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was our third place finisher in Pro class, David Bush III, 4th overall, but let's bring in our top Pro-Am driver who finished ahead of not only his entire class, but almost 3/4 of the Pro Class 2 as well. Andrew Trickett, congrats. Podium in the overall and then top step in your class. Couldn't ask for a much better race here at ORAN Park.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I was dreading this race, absolutely dreading it coming in, and but it worked out. It worked out pretty well, so I'm happy with the result.
Did you have much time on the track coming into this week at all?
I practiced. I mean, I did what I could. I spent a few nights in here trying to get as fast as I could, but in practice tonight with all these guys, they were so much quicker. And then I managed to get a little gap in quality that I could use and put in a solid lap, and that helped. And I had a good start. I think I went from like 9th, like 3rd or 4th, which was pretty good. So that helped.
Now, we've seen a ton of Ferraris pretty much in every GT3 league that we've covered this season. It just seems to be the car that is most favorable in the fixed setups. But this looks like a track that really worked well for the Porsche. It's kind of plays into the strengths of the Porsche. Twisty, fast corners. Did you feel really comfortable in the car here tonight, or did you have to fight the pendulum effect with the Porsche?
Not so bad. It felt pretty good coming out of corners. It squats really well getting out of some of those corners, and it had really, really good traction, which helped. I'm not too sure what to expect out of the Porsche at Spa, or I think it's Bathurst next week now. They changed the schedule, so it might be good at Bathurst, but it might not be so good at Spa.
Oh, we'll have to take a look. Nobody informed me about the schedule change. Nick McLaughlin, if you're watching out here, I'm going to have a little discussion. Okay. But anyway,
it's Mount Panorama, Rob. It's Mount Panorama.
Yeah.
Is it? Look at that. Oh, man.
We keep asking people about Spa.
I think we're going to spend the better part of next week at Spa anyways across the rest of the leagues, Rich, so I could do with a week off of Spa. But Andrew, any shout outs that you want to give to the millions at home cheering you on tonight?
Just so you guys basically put on a good show, and thank you for that. I appreciate all the effort you guys put into it, and all the organizers of this league for putting on a good place for us to come and race every Tuesday night. Lots of fun.
Well, we appreciate that. Best of luck heading into the rest of the season, Andrew, and we'll see if you can tackle the mountain next week in the Porsche.
All right, fingers crossed. Good night, guys.
Take care. That was our top Pro-Am driver, Andrew Trickett. Doesn't look like we have any of our other Pro-Am drivers in class, so let's go ahead and bring in our winner in the AM class here, Corey Precker, to catch up with Richard Swindells.
Corey, welcome back, and wow, what a reintroduction.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great to be back, and this is I think this is my first ever win in a league race, so feels great.
I can imagine, and maybe you just need a little bit of time off to get that Corvette all settled. And Rob keeps pointing out I'm kind of biased towards the Corvette, so great combination. ORAN Park. Quite the exciting race out there, and quite the difficult race. Lots of traffic, lots of cars. How'd you manage to persevere?
Yeah, just really, it just came down to staying clean. I think I was in 4th the whole race when I saw one guy spun in front of me, and then the other guy that was also in front of me got tangled up in that mess, and I decided I made a good evasive maneuver around that. Instead of going left, I went right. My spotter even said go left, but I went right just because I just read that. I read that situation pretty good, and then yeah, there was a little bit of another incident going to the turn 2 on between the top 8 one. yeah, exactly. Between the top AM car and then I think some of the Pro and Pro AM cars, but I'd have to look back at it. So, but either way, it just says, hey, you just got to stay clean, and good things will happen.
Well, that's for sure. And I know Ian Cabana, your teammate, was cheering you on out in YouTube land. He's quite happy for you. We're happy to have you back. We're happy for you as well, Corey. Anybody like to give a thanks to or shout out to?
Yeah, I'll give a thanks to Ian and Kevin Berquist, my teammate, and Crikey Esports.
Well, excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week and seeing what you can do for us at Mount Panorama.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
That was our top AM driver, Corey Precker, taking his first league win here this evening in his first race back with Throttle Freaks. Can't ask for a much better race for him than that one, but let's bring in Cesar Jimenez, who sits second on the podium in AM class. Cesar, nice race for you and your I-75 teammate James Hand. You both take the second and third steps in the AM class, but tell us about how did your race go at Oran Park?
Oh my god, this was not a race, this was a battle of attrition. Survival was my main goal here, and I'm glad I was able to make it through somewhat unscathed, because I got some kisses on the fronts and on the back, and I think once on the side of my car trying to dodge people getting thrown around. But I fought hard, sweated, but made it through. Really glad about that.
Yeah, it's more than you can say for a number of drivers who were out early on in this one, but we head to Mount Panorama Bathurst next week. Going to be tight confines up on the mountain. Going to be very similar, I guess, to kind of the patience that a lot of drivers had to show here tonight at Oran Park, where you're going to have to be patient up on the mountain until you get down to the lower section of the track to really try and make your move. How you feel about taking the Porsche 911 there next week?
I'll be doing the best I can for sure, but for comparing this to ORAN, sorry, I'm going to enjoy Bathurst a bit more, considering it gives me more time to breathe. At least I have some breathing room in between the really tight corners. So I'll make sure to take advantage of that.
So far, it's been a good season. 2 races in for you and your teammate, James Hand. You guys working together at all to try and find pace throughout the week, or sharing any kind of notes?
At the moment, we're just showing up and giving it our best. I know I want to put in some more as I further my career in Throttle Freaks, but as of right now, I'm just showing up, doing my best, and I believe so is he. And we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's worked out well for you, the two of you, so far this week. But before we let you go here, Cesar, anybody want to give a shout out at home cheering you on and pushing you forward each week?
Just a shout out to my wife. I love you.
Excellent stuff. Well, Cesar, best of luck next week heading into round 3. Hopefully we see you battling for podium positions again.
Thanks.
So that was our third place finisher in AM class, Rich. Overall, how did you think the race went here at Oran Park?
It went well, I thought. It was very exciting. Nothing real surprising there, except for maybe losing the 2 leaders right at the get-go, but it was tight. There was lots of traffic. Turns 1 and 2 did not disappoint. Exciting racing start to finish. Well done, drivers.
Yeah, I'm going to say I was expecting complete carnage the first couple laps, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that it didn't go that.
He spread it out over multiple laps for us, Rob. We had lots of entertainment all race long.
I wasn't looking forward to doing about 5-10 minutes of crash recaps at the start of this one, but that's going to wrap things up here for Oran Park. But before we go, let's take a look at what we got coming up here on Racer Nexus channel here for the rest of the week. Hold on here. We've had to change this here. Nobody saw anything there. There we go. Thursday, Freedom Motorsport Alliance is back with their World Endurance Championship on Thursday night. Sunday, they're back again with a Gen 4 action. Apex this Mazda Cup Racing on Sunday, and then Monday, Pony Express Sim Racing GT3 Challenge on the channel. FMA back again with their GT3 Challenge, and then we do everything again here next Tuesday night with the Throttle Freaks GT3 League, as we mentioned, heading off to Mount Panorama. A little change in the schedule from the Spa race we were expecting. That's going to be a week later, but you know what, Rich? I think it bodes as well. We're going to save on flights and hotel fees. We can just stay in Australia for another week.
That's for sure. And I'd just like to say something for those folks in Canada celebrating Canada Day tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves. And a little later on the week, we've got a lot of American people here as well, 4th of July. So if we don't see you before those holidays, enjoy yourselves. But for Racer Nexus, I'm Richard Swindells. Rob Campbell, as always, doing production, covering off the commentary. The man knows it all, folks. We're really pleased. We're really happy. We're glad we're here with you. Throttle Freaks GT3 Racing. Have a good night.